I was a pretty big Metallica fan. I was about 18 years old. And I went with a couple buddies to their show. And I had a sign that said, "Lars, let me play your drum kit." They ended up calling me on stage at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Well, I got to play the last song with Metallica, to close the night off, and it blew my mind. I was shaking for 3 days. If there's no clearer sign to do music for a living, I'd be dumb not to take it. Check out the lab. This is the main control room, all the gear's wired in. All the bands track in this room primarily. This used to be an open concept room, so this wall was built, the hallway wall was built, and that basically isolates the control room from the hallway to the studio floor. Right here is Studio A, so all the drums, the guitars, the vocals, the strings, you name it, is all tracked live in that room. Right down here is Studio B. And this is our Studio B, and a lot of vocals, acoustic guitars, overdubbing, and editing is primarily done in this room. It was put together so that way when our A room is super busy, the clients don't have to wait 3 or 4 months to get in. They can hop in for a 2-hour session, bang out their song, and then get it mixed in the A room. SLR Studio stands for Sound Labs Recording, and the meaning behind the name is just basically a recording lab. You come in here, all this gear is included, and it's for people to come in and create. To some people it's a sanctuary. They come here, they get to express themselves and put it into songs, and I think it really, defines what goes on here in the studio. So the studio originally wasn't meant to be a business. My brothers and my dad, we put up 3 walls that basically divided up so that way we could have a jam room essentially, and started kind of recording and just became really curious about it. And then from that point, okay, what next piece of gear do I got to get better, and then what technique and what gear, and then I kept going, and years down the road, here I am filled with world-class equipment that I've collected and built over the years. What inspires me to create in the studio, it's not just really one thing. Knowing how to inspire myself, I think, is the best way to go about it if I'm lacking any inspiration, if I'm working on a song, and it just not coming out the way I want it to. Maybe pick up a guitar, add a new part that I think is lacking, and then create inspiration as I'm building on it. If you're gonna go into it deep. And to do that, you have to. So you really have to go big or go home. It's so competitive in the music industry that you have to be all in it. Working with vast amounts of genres. So for example, going to a hip hop or R&B track, to heavy metal, to hard rock, to just, it keeps me sharp and it keeps me inspired. And at times I could even include them in another genre, and it usually works out depending on the song and if it needs that. My biggest success to date would be to be able to do this for a living, day in, day out, and have just the support of family and friends, and people that keep consistent clients that are coming in, record labels coming back using me on a day-to-day or weekly, monthly basis, and just basically having a strong clientele. To me, that's success. Another accomplishment that I'm proud of is a product called the X Clip, and that has kind of developed from my production engineering career, and developed a product that users across the world use. Some of the biggest challenges I've had to face while developing my career in music was definitely working very long hours where I would miss out on birthday parties, just family events, even just weekend family gatherings. Running the business for years has been very enjoyable. It's been a lot of work, but I love the job even to this day since I started young. Not only do I do it for a living, but I have a wife and 2 kids that I support, and have stayed together over the years, because that's not an easy thing to do. Luckily, I have an engineer that works for me in the studio, and he really helps out to just, for clients that I don't have time for, if I'm too booked up or I have some family events, he's glad to help out and to take those sessions from me. So it helps me just keep a more balance with family and just the business and running that.
Hi, my name's Justin. I work here at SLR Studios. I've been here for about 2.5 years now. I started working here after graduating the audio engineering program at OART in London, and yeah, so I've just been working here ever since. So I've been here since roughly like September 2015. So I got the opportunity to be interviewed by Marty back when I was still in school, because one of my old guitar students, he recorded an album here. His dad mentioned like, hey, like, Marty's looking for someone, do you want me to like, introduce you for an interview? I'm like, sure, that'd be excellent. So came down, did the interview. Once I graduated, he let me come in and do an internship, which only ended up being a month, and then he hired me on shortly after that. Normally, when you work in this kind of field, you have to intern for quite some time, and maybe even like sweep the floor, do the garbages before you even can touch a microphone. But because this is like such a cool like home studio kind of vibe, and we're in a city like Windsor, like I was able to kind of just hop in and almost right away start engineering and producing sessions right off the bat. I really enjoy working here. I get to work with all kinds of different artists, all kinds of different styles of music by myself, not even working with Marty, which has been amazing. So it's just overall been a great experience. I would pull up Pro Tools and I'd just say like, hey, like, did you know about like this feature, or just some obscure key commands or obscure features that aren't necessarily used all the time, but that I showed him, and that he was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Or I also introduced him to this piece of gear that we have in the studio called the Weber Impedance Matcher. It's something that I own myself because I'm a guitar player, and what it does is it allows you to match any guitar head with any guitar cabinet by matching the ohms, because for tube amps you need to really be careful to make sure that you match that. So I had him try it out and he really liked it, and he ended up purchasing one for the studio, which actually kind of led into him actually building a whole switchable rack to basically patch all of our guitar heads into all of our guitar cabs. If you've never checked this place out, check out our website, check out the audio samples, and yeah, if you're ever interested, just give us a call.